Hello, USC fans. Connor Morrissette and Shotgun Spratling. We're here inside the Galen Center after another big USC women's basketball victory. This time it's in the round of 32 in the NCAA tournament by a score of 73-55 over number 8 Kansas. The number 1 seeded women of Troy are headed to the Sweet 16, Shotgun, for the first time since 1994. Your thoughts?
No one was alive then, so that was the
I wasn't.
A question was posed to the players. And JuJu kind of looked at Mackenzie Forbes like, were you alive? No. This team played like a team tonight. You know, JuJu Watkins, Mackenzie Forbes carried the load offensively, but huge contributions from the bench for USC. Clarice Akinwafu changed the game in the late in the third quarter, fourth quarter. USC took out Rhea Marshall, put in Clarice Akinwafu, and she just went power mode, power boosted, and just changed the game. She had 6 block shots. She dominated down low. Kansas had been doing a really good job of getting to the rim, been getting some layups and stuff early. Had gone on a 9-0 run. USC kind of controlled the first half. We're up pretty consistently throughout the first half, through most of the third quarter. Kansas goes on a 9-0 run to get within 1 point. And you start going, okay, I wonder what this USC team that has older players but do not have postseason experience really, how are they going to react to this against a Kansas team with 5th and 6th year seniors on their roster? And they stepped up to the plate. Absolutely did. JuJu Watkins hits a 3. She hits a couple free throws after that, and it starts, I think you said it was a 15-2 run right there. So USC takes control of the game, and that's right at the quarter break. That 15-2 run spanned the end of the third quarter, the beginning of the fourth quarter. So it wasn't just you finished the quarter, they finished the quarter strong, but then immediately Kayla Padilla comes out and hits the three-pointer. And they just keep building on it, And then what Clarice Akinwafu was able to do down low, just dominating defensively. So Kansas was never able to get into any really good offensive sets late in the game to kind of get that comeback going. And they were blocking shots without fouling. I think USC had 10 blocks in this game. So they just made things really difficult, and they wore down Kansas. We talked to Kansas coach Brian Snyder after the game, and he said their physicality, the fact that they can play Akinwafu and Rhea Marshall for 20 minutes each, just wore down their big Tatiana Jackson, who's 6'6" but is more slight. So she had to play, I think, 35 minutes in this one. So the fact that she was out there for that long, and Rhea Marshall and Clarice Akinwafu could switch in and out and stay fresh, it really had an impact in that fourth quarter, and that's when you saw USC pull away. And I think that's what you're seeing more and more from this team, is that it's a complete team. JuJu is phenomenal. Lindsey Gottlieb said this afterwards. I would like to see a freshman who's had, if anyone has seen a freshman that's had as big of an impact in her freshman season, she'd like to see that. Yeah. But it's not just the JuJu show. There's the JuJu effect, and we saw that in Galen Center throughout this weekend. It was amazing to see the crowds out here. The crowd was great. But everyone had big contributions this weekend, and to see Clarice Akinwafu, the other day it was Indiato coming in and making a special moment. This one was super special for her, I think, to be in the post-game press conference, and she's pretty shy and reserved. And to hear her teammates talking about her, you could see her kind of blushing a little bit at the podium as well. So this team is really fun to watch. And they're going to continue to play for one more week at least.
It's something we talked about going back months on the Triple Double podcast. We know JuJu is going to get her points, and Mackenzie Forbes has established herself as a second leading scorer. But where's the help? And the help has developed so well on this USC team. If you had told me way back then when we started doing the show back in like November, December, in the round of 32, Clarice Akinwafu is going to have this huge game and USC is going to advance to the Sweet 16, I'd say, okay, maybe, but I wouldn't be as confident. And now I'm not surprised at all, because all season long, some games it's Kayla Padilla, and she has 9 points tonight. Rhea Marshall, in other games, she had 9 points as well tonight. It's a complete team, and I don't think that was necessarily the case early in the season. Lindsey Gottlieb deserves a ton of credit, and the whole coaching staff, to that matter, deserves a ton of credit for just the development of this season. We knew JuJu was so good. We knew Mackenzie could come in and score a lot, but the way this team's gelled and the chemistry, it's a team that, I know South Carolina is really, really good, but at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if they do get to the championship game and they face a team like South Carolina, because it just seems like they have a really, really special group. And I give them a chance, shotgun. Am I doing too much? Do you think am I being unrealistic?
You're not being unrealistic. There is definitely a chance there. However,
They got the it factor.
they do. They have the JuJu factor for sure, which is a big it factor, and you see that with Caleb Williams showing up and Lincoln Riley showing up, and John Wall was here tonight, and the people want to see JuJu Watkins, Cheryl Miller again here, but it's a long way away.
Oh yeah.
In the NCAA tournament,
Got to beat Baylor first.
They'll play Baylor next week. I haven't seen the schedule there, if it's Thursday or if it's Friday or Saturday.
Saturday, but not out yet.
Not yet.
Maybe by the time people are watching, it is out. So sorry, but not
Saturday. They'll play Baylor, and then the winner of that game will play the winner of UConn and Duke. You would probably expect that to be UConn with the way they've been playing recently.
So maybe I am taking things a little too far.
But I'm just saying, there's a long way to go in the spectrum of an NCAA tournament. And especially now that teams will get to prepare an extra week for someone like JuJu. We'll see what Baylor can throw at her. But, again, teams have been throwing different things at her all year. And Kansas threw a zone defense at it, and USC got a little sluggish a little bit. But then Mackenzie Forbes, they would get transition. They got a ton of points off turnovers. That was kind of the difference in this game. I think it was 25 points off turnovers in this game. When they were able to get a turnover, they would push the tempo a little bit. Mackenzie Forbes just stepping into threes in transition over and over. She hit 6 threes in this game. I think she was 6 of 13. So, she really stepped up. And, that keeps the team from being able to get, they can't set up their zone and everything. And the different things they're able to, different ways they're able to attack. And then later in the game, USC started using JuJu Watkins in the middle of the zone. And she would either have short jumpers, mid-range jumpers, which she can knock that down, obviously, or the big comes out on her and suddenly there's a backside rebound. Several times Clarice Akinwafu would clean up shots where JuJu may have missed, but she's, she knows that someone's right there is going to grab the rebound more than likely. That happened multiple times. Or just passes down low. There were a couple really nice, hook passes and stuff. They're fun to watch. They're playing really well together, and you can tell how much they enjoy playing with each other. The smiles, the sounds coming from the, not truly the locker room, but from the hallway leading into the press conference. The fact that I just posted a little bit ago, there are probably 100 fans standing outside the Galen Center exit waiting on JuJu to come out today. There were a ton of people. Mackenzie Forbes said she didn't want to leave the court. She didn't want to leave the court, because she's never going to play in Galen Center again. This is her third different stop, but she has grown to love this place so much because she loves her teammates. She loves everything about the people around. And JuJu said, she wouldn't want to be anywhere else because of the people that are here. And they were all soaking in as much as they could from the atmosphere. Galen Center was electric again tonight, and they were all just really enjoying it. And now they'll go on the road and they'll play on a neutral site, and we'll see what they can do up in Portland. Mackenzie Forbes had some comments for the fans, USC fans. She said, "We need you in Portland. We want you to come up there and support them." So we'll see if USC can get some Pacific Northwest fans up there and some people to get up to Portland to support the team next weekend.
I forget if we said this or not, but JuJu did lead everyone with 28 points. Want to make sure we got that on this video. Yes.
28 and 11, another double-double for her. I thought that was really big, actually, her rebounding on the defensive end in the second half as well, because that was one of the things when Kansas got going, they were able to drive and get to the rim, and if they did miss a shot, Jackson was cleaning up a lot of stuff and creating those second opportunities for them. So Akinwafu comes in. She does a really good job blocking some shots, getting rebounds, but also JuJu getting down in there, digging out stuff. It was a physical game. Mackenzie Forbes got elbowed in the mouth. JuJu Watkins took a shot to the face. She had a scratch across her down across her eye after the game. So it was physical. And USC, they talked about this in Vegas. They're the tougher team. Every game that we watch them, they end up being the tougher team. And whether it's because they can outlast with their depth, which we saw tonight, or it's just they want it more, which we saw a couple times in the Pac-12 tournament. So that makes them that much more dangerous. And, hey, they have been prone to giving up some runs. That's something they would love to address, I'm sure. They've jumped out to big leads several times recently and had the other team come back. Basketball is a game of runs. It's going to happen a little bit, but I'm sure they would like to clean that up a little bit. So there's things they still want to work on. They've got to have a great scout going in against the teams the quality of teams they'll play the rest of the season. But you look at this team and say, what can they not do? Because they are capable every night of playing with anyone in the country. And you mentioned South Carolina. That's the ultimate end. That's whoever will come out of this side of the bracket, that's who they'll play, I believe, kind of wholeheartedly. I don't think anyone's beaten South Carolina on that side of the bracket. There could be some really good games. We'll see. But I think this team can play with South Carolina. Again, long way away. So we're going to have time to discuss that if they get to that situation. But they're just playing so well together right now, playing for one each other so much. The smiles that you see on the court when someone else makes a play, those are the type of things, the genuine joy that they have. They're fun to watch, and there's no telling what this team is capable of.
Let's finish with the atmosphere tonight inside the Galen Center. Really, really raucous crowd. Lindsey Gottlieb said, when I took the job 3 years ago, I was talking to administrators, and they were like, yeah, no one's coming to the games, so hopefully you can change that. But historically, people just aren't showing up. Tonight, nearly a full house. Place was really, really loud. And, I mean, that's just a credit to Coach Gottlieb and a credit to the players. Brian Schneider, the Kansas head coach, he talked about how this reminded him of a college town. And how many times have people described USC like that, especially USC basketball, like a college town? I thought that was really significant. A guy who's coaching the Big 12 for a while and has been around a lot of college towns. So USC, the fans have done a nice job, and can people get up to Portland to support the team? I think that's the next step, but I was just happy to see this building so packed, and the fact that the team sent their fans off with a win, but the fans really sent the team to Portland off with good vibes because this place was loud. The team feels really supported, and I think that's a big part of the story too.
Yeah, and you got to give a lot of credit to JuJu. She's just magnetic. Everyone wants to be around her. So that is a large part of it. We can't take that away. It's obviously a big part of it. Without her star power, you don't have the celebrities. You don't have as much. Every night people want to come out. So many people in JuJu apparel, whether it be just a Watkins 12 or the Slam shirts. We got to create a shirt. We got to get in so we can make some money here because everyone wants some JuJu apparel right now. But the way they play, the joy they play with, I think is a big factor in it too. They're fun. Like I said, I've said it I think 4 or 5 times now. I keep saying it. They're fun to watch. But I did really think Brian Schneider's comments were really pertinent. The fact he said that he gave credit to USC and to the community for coming out and supporting this team the way they did. He said it's Los Angeles. There's a lot of things to do
on a Monday night.
Yeah, and it's traffic getting in, all that type of stuff. But he said it really did feel like a college town. And he felt like he said, from the Big 12 to other places he's played, he's like this. It was like he was in the Midwest. The way this team was being supported throughout the game. They didn't come and sit on their hands. Everyone was loud and boisterous, and give a lot of credit for that. And it's a great sign for what this program can continue to become. I thought it was really cool what JuJu Watkins said. She said she looked to her left at Mackenzie, when she finishes her career, when I finish my career, we want to have built a culture that we can come back and we can enjoy watching and supporting the next group of women of Troy, the way that Cheryl Miller, the way that Tina Thompson, the way the other alums have done for them. That's what they want to build. So give a ton of credit to Lindsey Gottlieb for creating that atmosphere, creating that culture around the team that has involved both the young and the old, and how they have connected and had that synergy together that JuJu Watkins is talking already about after her career. Because we know that's a long way down the road. She's got 15, 20 years to go. She's going to have a LeBron-esque career as far as the longevity of it, hopefully. So that's going to be a while down the road, but she hopes that this program just continues to build on what it is. Mackenzie Forbes says she was just super excited to help be part of the turnaround, be part of the foundation of what has been going on. And you got to give her a lot of credit as well to the last couple of years. Destiny Littleton coming in last year from South Carolina, her championship experience, I think that was a huge point for them. I mean, they weren't a fun team to watch necessarily last year because they struggled to put the ball in the basket, much different than this year's team does. But they scrapped and competed, and that's where that bloodline of toughness for this year's team, I think, was built last year with that group last year. So give a lot of credit to those players as well, Katie Sissoko and that group, for what they helped create the foundation for and getting USC back to the NCAA tournament. Now this group has taken a step forward. First win since 2006 on Saturday. Now first Sweet 16 in 30 years. can they keep going and get, first national championship down the road, again, long way away, since 1984. That's 40 years ago. Man, that's before my birth. So that's a long time ago. So we'll see if that can happen. Like I said, a long way to go. That's 2 weeks away. So they got some really tough opponents before then, and we'll see how they can prepare and get ready for a Baylor team that upset Virginia Tech in Blacksburg, and as a team that has a pedigree from Win Kimmel, who was there, of winning championships and stuff. So, that doesn't go away over a 5 or 6 year span. So we'll see what can happen with USC this week. It'll be a big week, and we'll have a lot more coverage on USCfootball.com. We'll have a triple-double podcast. We're hoping to get JuJu Watkins, Mackenzie Forbes. We were supposed to kind of get those girls at some point this week. We'll hope we can get them before they head up to Portland. We'll see what we can arrange. If not, we'll make sure we get somebody, though, to talk about this team, because I think you guys might be a little bit tired of hearing us on this analysis and everything. So we'll have a lot more coverage and stuff from tonight and going forward the next week.
Shotgun said it best. Enough of us chatting. This has been Instant Analysis after the women of Troy move on to the Sweet 16, where they'll play number 5 Baylor, like Shotgun said, in Portland on Saturday. What a big win over Kansas for USC tonight. They go to the Sweet 16 for the first time since 1994. Connor Morrissette, he's Shotgun Spratling. Stick with USCfootball.com for full coverage of this March Madness run for the women of Troy, and we'll see you next time.